between the veils. Why the tribe of Joseph does not exist. Have you ever flipped through the pages of the Bible, seen the lists of the 12 tribes of Israel and felt a chill? A missing piece, a name that should be there, but isn't. Joseph, the beloved son, the governor of Egypt, the one who saved his entire family from famine. Yet, when you search for the tribe of Joseph among the 12, it's gone, vanished, as if it never existed. This isn't a biblical oversight, it's a coded message, a profound mystery that reveals the true nature of legacy, multiplication, and the invisible hierarchy of God's kingdom. What if what you perceive as a loss of recognition is actually God's way of multiplying your influence beyond your wildest dreams? This video will challenge everything you thought you knew about your own purpose. Prepare to see the map of your life through a divine lens. Consider human logic, our thirst for recognition. If you carry the weight of a pit, an unjust season, a family betrayal, and then become the salvation of a nation, what do you expect? A throne, a name engraved in golden letters, a tribe to call your own. But God's economy operates on different principles. He took Joseph's suffering, his faithfulness, and instead of a single tribe bearing his name, he gave him to Ephraim and Manasseh, two tribes that would later become the very backbone of the northern kingdom of Israel. This isn't a demotion, it's an elevation, a multiplication beyond human understanding. Joseph didn't just save his family from famine, he became the root of two of Israel's most powerful tribes. But that's not the only twist in this story. There's a layer even deeper that reveals the true power behind Joseph's disappearance. God's logic is always stranger and deeper than ours. He takes the pain, the journey, Joseph's faithfulness, and spreads it among his children. It's as if God said, "You will not be remembered merely as a name. You will be remembered as a house, as a structure that sustains generation." This isn't a loss of identity. It's a transformation of identity, from an individual to a lineage, from a single name to a kingdom under his son's name. What does this tell you about how God works influence, authority, and legacy? So back to the question that started it all. Why isn't there a tribe of Joseph like the others? Perhaps the answer is more unsettling than technical. Because Joseph is a type of person God uses to preserve many, but won't always put on stage, with his name in giant letters. He is a portrait of those who carry backstage weight, but leave traces in their children, in those who come after. Do you realize how this changes how we read our own lives? Perhaps you will never have a tribe with your name. Perhaps you will never hold a position, a title, a public place that seems commensurate with the weight you carried. But in God's map, it may be that what you lived is the secret explanation of why two portions emerge in the next generation, why two ministries flourish, two families are restored, two paths open. The mystery of Joseph's tribe is the mystery of every man and woman God allows to be broken, to then be multiplied in others. Not as a mark of vanity, but as a flow of preservation. And there's another layer. When you go to the last book of the Bible, in Revelation, a list of 12 tribes appears again. It's not identical to Genesis. Some names change, others enter, others disappear. Guess who's there? Joseph. Not as a hidden father behind children, but as a proclaimed name. In the final scene, where God writes history not by human criteria, but by the lens of eternity, Joseph reappears. Perhaps it's God's way of saying, "No legacy I recognize stays forever hidden backstage. There are times and maps where I spread your name in others. And there is a final time when I myself call you by name before all." Therefore, when looking at the disappearance of Joseph's tribe, be careful not to conclude quickly. Sometimes, what you call forgetting is God transforming you from a tribe into a house, from an individual into a lineage. The question then perhaps is not, why isn't a tribe of Joseph? But, which parts of my story am I interpreting as a loss of name, when, in reality, they could be invisible multiplication? As you review the map of your life, you may need to accept that some territories will not bear your name on the sign, but they will carry your spiritual DNA, your faithfulness, your yes to God in the days of the pit and the prison, and in the end, when the final list is read. Not the human list, but that of revelation. You may discover that the name that seemed to have vanished from the map was always registered where it truly matters. For today, it is enough for you to know this. The mystery of Joseph's tribe is not a biblical editing error. It is a coded message about a God who loves to transform wounds into inheritance and discrete names into houses that sustain generations. The text can confuse those who read in a hurry, but it illuminates those who accept to be multiplied, even if their own name does not appear in large letters.